Have you ever wished you could have anything you wanted? Today, we will learn about Marcus, a merchant who found something very special. But sometimes, getting everything we want can teach us important lessons about what really matters in life. In a small village by the mountains, there lived a merchant named Marcus. Marcus owned a shop filled with beautiful things. He sold colorful fabrics, shiny jewelry, and sweet spices from faraway places. But Marcus was never happy with what he had. He always wanted more money and more treasures. Every morning, Marcus would count his gold coins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He had only 5 gold coins. "This is not enough," he said to himself. "I need more gold. I need more treasures. Then I will be happy." Marcus spent his days walking through the village market. He looked at other merchants with envy. They seemed to have more customers and more money than him. "It is not fair," Marcus complained. "Why do they have success and I do not?" One cloudy afternoon, Marcus was walking home from the market. He felt sad and disappointed because he had sold nothing that day. As he walked along the old mountain path, something caught his eye. Behind some large rocks, he saw a strange clay pot. The pot was old and dusty. It had beautiful patterns carved around its edges. Marcus picked it up carefully. "What is this?" he wondered aloud. The pot felt warm in his hands, even though the day was cool. Marcus carried the pot home to his shop. He placed it on his wooden counter and looked at it closely. The patterns seemed to move and dance in the lamplight. "Strange," Marcus said. "Very strange indeed." Marcus was curious about the pot. He decided to test it. He took one of his 5 gold coins and dropped it inside the clay pot. Suddenly, the pot began to glow with a soft golden light. Marcus heard a gentle humming sound coming from inside the pot. The light grew brighter for a moment, then slowly faded away. Marcus looked inside the pot and gasped. There were 2 gold coins instead of 1. "Impossible," Marcus whispered. He reached into the pot and took out both coins. They were real gold, shiny and heavy in his hands. Marcus could not believe his eyes. Excited and amazed, Marcus decided to try again. He put both gold coins back into the pot. The same thing happened. The pot glowed, hummed softly, and when the light faded, there were 4 gold coins inside. "This is magical," Marcus said, his voice shaking with excitement. "This pot can double anything I put inside." Marcus worked through the night. He put the 4 coins in the pot and got 8 coins, then 16 coins, then 32 coins. By morning, Marcus had more gold than he had ever seen in his life. But Marcus did not stop there. Over the next few days, he put everything valuable into the magic pot. He doubled his silver jewelry, his silk scarves, and his precious gemstones. Soon, his small shop was overflowing with treasures. Marcus became the richest merchant in the village. People came from far away to buy his beautiful things. His shop was always busy, and customers lined up outside his door every morning. "Now I am successful," Marcus said to himself as he counted his mountain of gold coins. "But I could have even more." Marcus worked harder and harder each day. He spent all his time counting money, organizing treasures, and serving customers. He became very tired, but he could not stop thinking about getting more wealth. One evening, as Marcus sat surrounded by his riches, he had an idea. If this pot can double objects, maybe it can double a person, too. I could make another me to help with all this work. Marcus looked at the large clay pot sitting in the corner of his shop. It had made him rich beyond his dreams. Surely it could help him one more time. The next morning, Marcus made his decision. He climbed carefully into the large clay pot. It was just big enough to hold him if he curled up tightly. "Soon I will have a helper," Marcus said to himself. "Then I can rest while my double works for me." Marcus waited inside the pot. He felt the familiar warmth beginning to spread through the clay. The pot began to glow with its magical golden light. The gentle humming sound began just like always. But then something went wrong. Instead of the soft, pleasant humming sound, Marcus heard a loud cracking sound. The pot began to shake violently. The golden light flickered and flashed like lightning. "What is happening?" Marcus cried out in fear. Suddenly, with a tremendous crash, the magic pot shattered into thousands of pieces. Marcus tumbled out onto the floor of his shop, covered in clay dust and small pottery pieces. As Marcus stood up and brushed off the clay dust, he looked around his shop in horror. All his doubled treasures were gone. The gold coins had vanished. The jewelry had disappeared. The silk scarves were nowhere to be seen. Everything had returned to the way it was before he found the magic pot. Marcus was left with exactly what he had started with. 5 gold coins, his small, simple shop, and nothing more. Marcus sat down heavily in his chair and began to cry. "I have lost everything," he sobbed. "I am back where I started." But as the days passed, something unexpected happened. Marcus began to notice things he had never seen before. He watched the sunrise paint the mountains in beautiful colors. He listened to children laughing as they played in the village square. He smelled the fresh bread baking in the shop next door. Marcus realized that during his time of great wealth, he had been too busy to enjoy these simple pleasures. He had been so focused on getting more and more that he had forgotten to appreciate what was already around him. One morning, an old woman came into Marcus's shop. She was looking for a small gift for her granddaughter. Marcus helped her choose a pretty blue scarf. When she smiled and thanked him, Marcus felt something he had not felt in a long time. He felt truly happy. "Thank you for your kindness," the old woman said as she left the shop. Marcus realized that this feeling of helping someone and making them happy was worth more than all the gold in the world. The magic pot had taught him an important lesson about greed, but it had also led him to discover something much more valuable than treasure. From that day forward, Marcus lived simply but happily. He enjoyed his work, appreciated his customers, and found joy in the small, beautiful moments of each day. He never found another magic pot, but he no longer needed one. Marcus had found something better than magic. He had found contentment. What simple things in your daily life make you feel happy and grateful?